something you said a little while ago before my microphone was poopy and I got distracted. You said you're confused about the cognitive functions.
No, I know the original definitions, but I want to look beyond.
Okay. Well, I think Eric can make it a little bit more confusing if you don't have a slight grasp on them in a more simple manner first. Does that make sense?
I've been toying around with cognitive functions for about a year.
Oh,
so,
okay. Well, they're not super.
I'm not new to it.
Right.
I'm not new. Look, I'm not new to it. I just want to look beyond and try to somehow make it concrete. For example, I believe I know what the perceptual functions are, and sensing and intuition, right? Both extroverted and introverted. But now I'm trying to define. That's maybe the only thing I need to know. Right now I'm trying to define the difference between extroverted and introverted processing functions, right? And I have no clue how to do that.
Well, you've seen many different, probably because you've seen different definitions of them. They're inconsistent, right?
Yeah, but I believe that most of it is just plain up bullshit, to be honest. What is out there on cognitive functions is mostly just bullshit, in my opinion.
Well, you have to take it for what it is. It's a equation at which you can interpret data.
Exactly, it's not an Exactly, it's not an equation.
Data that then you have to understand that this is just this one perspective.
Yeah, but either way, it's not an equation. It's not an equation.
It's an equation for a theoretical.
But that's never there. Almost in 1 or 0 cases, I found there's no equation for the cognitive functions. That's what I'm trying to find.
There's no what? Equation?
Equation, yeah, sorry. That's what I'm trying to define and discover.
Metaphysical equation, like what Mark said, host Mark earlier. It's like rather than being 1 times 3, it's A equals A. See what I'm saying? You have to prescribe meaning. You have to prescribe meaning to the metrics within the equation, and then or the figures within the equation or equation.
Yeah, but you can still translate it because I've translated the perceptual functions in a way I understood them and it made sense to me. I don't know.
I'm not saying this right. I'm saying you have to figure out how to frame it in your head from the big picture, so that when you're trying to extrapolate the information from it, you know where you need to be, like in what regard you need to hold it. Because you might try if you're trying to make an equation out of it, then you got to see, okay, what you have to define it for. Like you can't define it on a micro level without first doing it at a macro level. You have to define the theory itself and what the equation is telling you, and then define the cognitive functions within the equation. Out of that larger context, the framework. Because you know its bounds. And that since it can't be exact, nobody's doing one thing all the time. You can use all the cognitive functions. That's the other part of it. So it's not exact. It's not rigid like you want it to be. So when you're looking at how it manifests, which is going to help you conceptualize it, you have to know it's
How do you define the processing functions then?
I sound like a black rapper. That's interesting.
ESTP, really? Alright. Then you're an ENTP.
Who is motherfucker? It's not someone new. Like somebody else said my name. Who's being annoying? Thank you.
Doesn't sound so good on the microphone.
It sounds like you're murdering your microphone. Like you're an evil scientist performing a horrific surgery on your microphone. Man, that's bad.
Can you stop that? I don't know if he goes. Did someone else handle it? Or did he handle it himself?
I don't know what happened.
Okay.
So, I was listening to this podcast. First of all, I don't know what kind of conversation you guys are in, but I'm driving and I want to talk to somebody. If anybody is welcome to participate. If you chat something, I'm not gonna see that shit.
Okay, where is this noise coming from? Oh.
I don't know.
Same guy.
Who is it?
I think it was Ash who came back, but he muted himself.
Okay. Ash. Oh, he refreshed and stuff.
Yeah.
So I was watching podcast Joe Rogan and Sam Harris, who I'm a fan of. He's a very intelligent guy, but pretty rigid. He's an INTJ. Anyway, they're talking about artificial intelligence, and it's something that it's harder for young people to take as seriously, I think, and it's harder for younger people to take seriously because they're so they're more open and less anxious and fearful of technology than older people, but they understand the implications of artificial intelligence and can conceptualize it easier. But older people, they would care more, but they don't know how to frame it in their head. Is what I started thinking about in that conversation, because they're talking about if it is possible, once general artificial intelligence arises and a machine can make decisions and improve on its own code and learn at an incredible speed and then exponential and then be far superior than us in every way, intellectually or whatever. And then it's like, first it's technology that's going to be, it's more dangerous than nuclear weapons. If not, like, it could be more difficult too. It's more volatile and control every aspect of the life that we fucking assimilated into. And I'm just wondering how many people think about that, and it talks about it very much, other than the people that are working closely to it, like Elon Musk, who's freaked out that he's already spread thin between SpaceX and Tesla, but he's investing all his time, money, and effort into a company just because he wants to go out, but he's so afraid of the company where they're like developing a mesh, like it's a highly conductive material that like shoot into your bloodstream or up your nose or something. I don't know how they administer it, but it wraps around the prefrontal cortex of the brain, and then it's conductive, so it can basically transfer brain signals through it like radio waves, and then can send and receive shit basically. But anyway, what does everybody think about that? If anything. Nothing. That's cool.
I'm sort of doing something else, so I didn't hear everything you said.
That's cute.